All right,
Okay.
Maddie.
Take two? Do we want to try just start from the
It's
top?
actually
And
take
I can just
three, but
take three. Oh,
hey, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
thank you, everybody. That's the pod. That's the pod.
There
Okay.
it is.
We're trying again. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Take Three podcast. We are so back. You guys may know, may not kind of know, but it's been over like a month since we've all recorded together. So we're finally back.
We're going to have Bailey on. I don't want to interrupt you. We're really going to have Bailey on.
For this tonight?
I definitely mentioned this to either Meredith.
You mentioned it to me, and I thought about it earlier when we texted, but then you went along with it, so I was like, okay, maybe not. And plus, we did switch it. Did you tell Bailey this week? Or did you just say?
It was like last we were recording, and I was like, and Bailey was like, I want to be on it. I'm like, okay, great. We'll have Bailey on next week. It was like very brief.
Okay. And now we're back, and it's so that's where I'm good luck, Maddie, editing, trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
But we're also back. And first and foremost, Josh, do you like my nails?
Yeah, I'm glad we're starting with this.
No,
yeah,
I'm not even kidding.
As a nail connoisseur myself, I would say those acrylic nails.
They are.
Are they? Oh
yes,
my God,
it's
that was
crazy.
a shot in the dark. I know
Dude.
no other types of nails except for that. So
good.
Are they
this is the
press-ons?
first time No, they're like on my fingers. This
Oh,
is the
you
first
did
time.
the
Viewers,
tips.
Spotify listeners, I have longer nails than I have ever had in my life. And
How much
it's been
was
freaking
that?
me out for the past couple days. $10 because the girl I live with did them.
yeah,
Yeah, she cooked.
Who did
Josh,
them?
I know Josh is impressed. Cassie Poe, the girl that I live
She
with.
does what? I didn't know
Dude,
she
she
did
went
that.
crazy.
Yeah,
And I
good.
feel like it's an alter ego. Like I'm like typing on my phone, and I feel like I need to be chewing bubble gum and listening to Justin Bieber every time. I feel so. It's so. My mom looked at me. She's like, "Whose hands are those? Those
like
are
that
yours."
interview that Margot Robbie does when she's talking about her accent in Wolf of Wall Street, where she's like, I don't know how to do a Boston accent, and then her makeup director was like, pretend like you just put on acrylic nails, and you don't want to get on your. And she like, it's really funny.
Okay. Guys, so those are the big updates
Hey,
in our lives
hey,
since the last time we filmed together.
Do we think I could pull off one of those headscarves where you tie it like under and then the things fall on your chest?
like what?
Okay, it's a headscarf, but you
Like a grandma?
Not
Like a
grandma.
1950s housewife?
No, it's
you
like a
tie it under your
headband.
chin?
It's no. I'm trying to think of a movie where somebody wears like that, but it's a headband, but they like it ties underneath your hair, but then you can see the strands coming out with your hair, like your hair's down.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time. You should totally do that.
I want to do it. I want to
Josh,
get one of those.
are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do that?
No, I actually have a really funny story I want to tell y'all real quick before we get started. Well, it's not funny. It's kind of terrible. But so yesterday, work was great. This was the reason I didn't come to see a movie, Mayor. It'll make sense. So Jake and I, for context listeners, I just moved out of my previous house, and we had to move everything out by yesterday. And so all weekend, my roommate and I were working on it, clearing out everything. We got it done, and our landlord said it looks great. Whatever. My roommate and I found this dumpster nearby that like was unmanned and had no sign that said we couldn't use it. So we threw all of our trash in there, and we come to learn, like I wake up the next morning, I go to work and I don't have my phone, and I check my phone at lunch to like 25 texts from my roommate freaking out about like how the owner of the company who owns the dumpster is like filing a lawsuit against us. We're going to lose our security deposit. They're going to file criminal charges. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm not even freaking out because I'm like, that is such an exaggeration. I know that he probably called you in anger that morning on a Monday morning and was like, ranting to you about this and was just trying to get it done as fast as possible. And so long story short, after a lot of like texts back and forth of figuring things out, the conclusion was the guy was like, you have to clear out not only your stuff, you have to clear out the entire dumpster.
What?
In order for your security deposit not to get revoked. And I'm like, okay, great. So I'm the only one here of my roommates that are left here in Boone. So this is going to fall on me. And so I like come to realize I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to like manually get inside this dumpster, take out every single thing. And so I call my friend Henry, and
Henry,
he is like such a trooper, and he was like, yeah, I'll do it. And so him and I, we had gloves, but the gloves only worked for about 10 minutes before they got soaked through and everything in that trash can. And we, like, us two dug through the trash can, dug through this, like, massive dumpster for, like, an hour, taking trips to the dump, coming back. I mean, I don't think I've ever been more disgusted in my life. My body smelled awful. Like, genuinely, it got to the point where, like, you know when you're in dish pit or you're in somewhere and you get into a groove and you don't even care what gets on your body anymore because you're just such an... It was kind of like that, but it was so disgusting that feeling never went away because you would reach down and come up with, like, rotten chicken, cheese, eggs all over your body. And the frustrating thing is probably 10% of that stuff in that dumpster was ours. 90% of it was leftover, everything you can imagine. We found condoms in there. We found everything you can imagine in regards to, like, old food that had been expired for probably months.
Josh, what?
I reached my hand, one thing, got in, like, spoiled milk of, like, a month all up my arm. And so then, I mean, but the thing was, we were kind of, we didn't even have a bad attitude about it. We're like, let's just get it. Like, we got it. It was like the most camp mentality ever. Like, this sucks. We just have to embrace the suck and just get it done. Because someone has to do it. Jake and Jake aren't here, my roommates. I just have to do this. And so Henry and I, it was like an overflowing dumpster. It probably would have taken, like, most people, like, over 2 hours. We knocked it out in an hour of just, like, locking in. And, like, we, like, didn't talk to each other at all. We just, like, locked in and just got it all done. And it was so nasty. Like,
look at Mare's face. I'm so sorry.
Really disgusting. And so I texted Mare after that, and I was like, I'm not making it. Because I told her I was going to. And then I was like, yeah, it's been a terrible day. So I'm going to go home and not do anything for the rest of the day. And we got it done.
Wow.
So that was my day yesterday.
That's amazing.
I worked for 8 hours, and then immediately in my work clothes, went and did that with no break. I'll screen share this picture.
Who else's trash was in there?
I mean, everybody from around.
So why couldn't you guys use
here's
it?
A picture of me and Henry.
Oh, dude, what?
And so we got to about there. I mean, just look at all this crap in here. And, like,
what? Dude, you're in a button down. You're like,
yeah, I am. It had to be. So it's 4:46 in this picture. It had to be all out by 5, or we would have gotten our thing revoked. And
why weren't you guys allowed to use it?
Because it apparently belonged to the company that was, like, the car company that was, like, nearby it, and we didn't know that. And yeah.
What about all these other people who had used it?
The thing was, the manager found Jake Mancuso, one of my roommates, like, name with a piece of paper on it at the bottom of the dumpster that Jake had put in there like 2.5 weeks ago. So he assumed, which is a fair assumption, that if my roommate's thing is at the bottom, all of this stuff is ours.
How did he find something at the bottom of a dumpster?
I don't know. Apparently it was, like, sticking out, and it was, like, his lease paper that he had thrown away because he didn't need it anymore. And so the guy takes it out, sees his name, walks down to the Brown Heights office, asks for Jake, and calls him and just, like, rants to him about this. And yeah, it was gross. I smelled so bad, like, so
Josh,
bad.
That's how many showers did you take? Like, how?
I took one, but it was a long shower of me just, like,
good
scrubbing my body so heavily.
Wow.
But hey, just an average day here. You know.
I would have added the contents of my stomach to that dumpster.
Yeah, it was bad, but it wasn't that. Once we were in the great mental attitude, we were just like, we're going to get this done as fast as possible, and we just worked it out and got it done. And so that was my day yesterday.
Wow.
Safe to say,
I would have went and bought waiters.
I told my mom, and that was her reaction the whole time. She was like,
awful. Oh God.
I want to throw up thinking about it.
We found some unspeakable things in there. It was awful.
If I would have came across a condom, immediately thrown up.
Yeah.
And I would have gotten out, and I would have accepted it.
Henry, like, reached down and was grabbing, like, a box and, like, pulled it out, and there was just a condom on it, and he was like, oh, and we just started dying laughing Yeah.
Oh, my stomach hurts, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, guys, moral of the story,
Don't do that.
don't put stuff
Don't
in
do
random
that.
dumpsters.
Look at Mare.
Because, yeah.
Yep. Anyway, so guys, today we're gonna be I don't know how to segue into anything else.
The weirdest transition ever.
So speaking
Weirdest
of
tradition in the
trash,
world.
we're gonna talk about the opposite of it, and that's the movie Materialists.
Good job, Mare.
A polarizing movie for sure, which has had some of the most mixed reviews I've seen on a movie in a long time.
I want to see what the ratings are on
surprised
Letterboxd.
me.
Yeah, is it gonna be like this?
No, it's kind of like there's some low ratings, and it's like mostly 3s and 3.5s, and like 4 to 4.5 to 5s.
And it has a 6.8 on IMDb.
Yeah, it's a 3.2 on Letterboxd out of 5, so it kind of adds up.
Yeah. So the not tagline, but I can't remember what it's called, but it's like the short little description of the movie is a young, ambitious New York City matchmaker finds herself torn between the perfect match and her imperfect ex. Is kind of like the little tagline for it.
Maddie, you still haven't rated it.
I still haven't because I can't decide. I need to do that. I think after I was planning on doing it after the pod today, so that can be part of it, guys. I don't have a rating for it yet, but we can. But it's going to be rated by the time we walk out of this. It is written and directed by Celine Song, and she is also the writer and director of Past Lives, which was very successful. Her first ever directed and written film, and this is her second ever written and directed film, and it's starring Dakota Johnson, Chris Evans, and Pedro Pascal. It came out when? Like last month? Was that when?
Yeah, I'd say about a month.
About a month ago, and this is interesting. It was marketed as a rom-com, but since then, after it got released, like after a week, it was no longer being marketed as a rom-com, but as a romance drama.
Romance, if you will.
Romance, as some may say. So, but yeah, like Josh said, very mixed reviews. I didn't expect, because Mayor Bailey and I walked out of the theater like, oh my gosh, best day ever. Holy cow. Yeah. And then I went on Letterboxd and I was like, oh, never mind. People don't. I thought it was going to be like 4-star average at least, something along those lines. I was very, very surprised at the ratings of it. So, yeah, very, very interesting, especially in comparison to Celine Song's last movie, Past Lives, which does not end on the happy note that Materialist ends on.
Don't spoil it.
I won't spoil anything, but I know I haven't seen it yet either. But I want to, but it's just going to be devastating. I know the general idea of what happens.
Yeah. I know nothing about it.
I won't say anything. Anyway, so yeah, guys, what do we want to go over like a plot line first, and then talk about our thoughts?
So we open up with Dakota Johnson getting ready for her day at work, and guess what she is? A matchmaker. Surprise, surprise. Perfect for a rom-com, which this isn't.
Make me a match.
So
which this is not.
So she works for this company called Adore. Shocker. Matchmaker. Runs into this guy on the street, sees him checking her out, and she goes, "Hey, are you single? I can set you up. Give me a call." Anyway, so then we get this whole montage of her going to work, and she's the best, and this is what's about to be her 9th marriage that she's gotten for her clients.
Major dub.
Yeah, major dub for her. Anyway, she's supposed to be the best in their firm, or whatever you want to call it. Anywho, so she goes to this wedding that she's given credit for, meets Pedro Pascal, and then they start chatting, whatever, and she wants to bring him on as a client, but then they actually start seeing each other, and well, guess who else is at the wedding? Her ex, Chris Evans.
Shoot.
And he gets her a beer and Coke, which is never explained, ever. It's only mentioned once.
That is so true. I didn't even think
that is true. I'm surprised they didn't do like a callback to that.
No callback. Yeah. I was waiting for that the whole time. I was like, why the hell would you want Coke and beer? Who are you?
Freak.
Anyway, so he gets her a Coke and beer because
small town girl.
Because he obviously knows her well. That's why Pedro Pascal doesn't have to go get it for her. Chris Evans sets it down. He's like, hey girl. Anyway, so they have their little barely catching up kind of thing. Start seeing Pedro Pascal. And all of this stuff about being a materialist, and all of her clients want perfect matches who are like 6'2", man in finance, blue eyes.
Yeah. Are you referencing the song?
Yeah,
pretty much.
6'5" though, isn't it? Anyway,
so yeah,
same thing. So everybody wants these perfect things, and like everybody, their match has to be perfect because they deserve perfection. Because I'm perfect, and Dakota Johnson just gets fed up with it. But then she realizes that it's kind of the same thing with her and Pedro Pascal, and they don't really love each other, even though they are kind of perfect for each other, and that he's a unicorn because apparently he's 6 foot and is a billionaire and all these things.
He's perfect.
But Chris Evans is not perfect, but she keeps finding herself drawn back to him. And then she...
Oh, whoa. Like, holy spoiler.
Hey!
Spoiler warning.
Maybe we should cut that. But
that is so funny.
Yeah, cut that.
We'll give it.
Here, cut that, and then I'll
cut that.
I'll go back. I'll rewind.
Yeah,
okay, so Materialist stuff. Then she realized Then she realizes she realizes that the whole thing with Pedro might be surrounded by materialist things, even though they should work together on paper. But she keeps finding herself drawn to Chris. And then you have to watch the movie to find out the rest.
And then who knows what happens?
What's gonna happen?
And then she dies.
Did everything explode?
Everybody dies. That's why it's so polarized. No.
Okay, I feel like we should give a general spoiler warning, because in Sinners we talked about the ending. I feel like we can't talk about this movie without talking about the ending. So, spoiler warning, turn this off if you haven't seen it and you don't want spoilers.
But,
yeah,
but put that in front of my edition of it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, Maddie, do it, okay? Just figure it out.
Chop. Do it now.
Then she breaks up with Pedro, and then she ends up with Chris.
Oh, whoa. Like, holy spoiler. I agree with everything that she said, because that was the movie.
Because that was it. I agree, that was the plot. Anyway.
Okay, I think we should talk first about performances and characters that were written. So obviously, there's pretty much only 3 main characters. There's like the boss, which is like kind of a side character, and then like the roommates. But it really only revolves around these 3.
Yeah,
and the client that she.
The client.
Oh, yeah.
That was very
okay. So let's first discuss how we feel like the 3 characters were written, performances wise, how Celine Song wrote them, and were they executed good for the story. Dooley.
Boom. Okay. I love the characters. I thought they were really interesting. I loved Dakota Johnson's character. And one thing that I loved about her is she didn't change from beginning to end of the movie. She was very math, very logical, very like put together, kind of a more cold person. And she didn't become this warm, bubbly person who believed in love and perfection by the end of the film. Even at the very end with Chris Evans, like love confession, she's like, I'm doing the math in my head. Like, I know this is a bad business investment. Like, that didn't change. I just thought that she had a strong character, and I appreciated, I don't know, like, I feel like in so many rom-coms, you get the girl who's kind of like, this wasn't even a rom-com, but in a lot of romances, you get the kind of quirky girl who's all over the place and not really organized. It was really interesting to see a girl who was like more cold and calculating, and that was really interesting. I liked that a lot, and I think she was a good foil for Chris Evans. And let him do more characters with the New York accent. That was awesome. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. And then Pedro's character, just like kind of the steadiness of it. And I talked to Mare about this after the movie especially, but this is kind of getting past character, but just the difference in chemistry between the 2 pairings of Pedro and Chris Evans. Like, there was chemistry there for both, but just you could see like the difference was written very well between Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson's characters versus her and Pedro's character. Like, chemistry was there, but not in like the same like way, like just the sparks. It was just very well written, I think, in that case when it came to chemistry. So those are my thoughts on the characters. I enjoyed them. I thought they were very well written, personally. I feel like we could have gotten a bit more depth from Pedro's character, but I think that was part of the point of the film. Like, there wasn't just much depth in that relationship. So we didn't get much from that.
Yeah.
So those are my thoughts. Mare, Josh?
Go ahead, Mare.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Maddie said. We discussed this immediately after the movie.
That is true.
But I agree that Dakota Johnson, she didn't really change other than the fact like she accepted that Chris Evans is poor and that like he doesn't have to be perfect, but otherwise she stayed the same, which was different to see. Like Maddie said, different from romances. But I loved Chris Evans' character because yes, he is imperfect, but he knows that he loves Dakota Johnson, and I don't know, he was a very real representation of, I think, the everyday person, because there are not very many people who are rich, and most of us are middle or lower class. And then you have Pedro Pascal, who is upper class, and like she mentions in the film, that he's a unicorn in her line of work because he checks everyone's boxes. But like Maddie said, you don't get a lot of depth there, which I think was on purpose. I mean, we don't get a lot of scenes with like connection between them two, again, on purpose. We get that with Chris Evans and Dakota Johnson. I don't know, he has all of these things, but is he really a unicorn? Because I don't know, he just didn't have that much depth. So he checks all the materialist boxes. Ha! I don't know. It was a very good, like, they had him to be the materialist, to check the materialist box, but then you have Chris Evans, who's a more real representation of actual people. People that are like Pedro don't exist. And if they do, they're assholes. Pretend. Pardon my French.
Oui. Yeah.
I agree.
Keaton?
I love Dakota's character a lot. I thought she crushed it. It seemed like this role was just straight up her alley. I think her performance was great too. Chris was obviously great. I knew he was going to be, but I don't know. I love how I appreciate so much when movies write poor characters and then like show them in a way that's actually accurate. Like not like they're poor and then like they're super like, yeah. I know, Maddie. You mentioned earlier that like people were critiquing about how no way that off his salary he could live in New York City. Maybe, but I still think like with the way that he lived and like his apartment with his roommates and like his car and his job and his I think it all like was written really well. Where yeah, I think I disagree with Pedro though. I really do wish we got more there. Like I get that might be the point of the movie, but he also has like one of the biggest plot points with the whole like stretching his legs thing.
Big spoiler.
Yeah, that's fine. Which I wish we had gotten more of, like just more character for him in order for that to like become more of like a in-depth thing. I didn't really care at all about his character at all. So like, and I didn't really like him either because I was just like, he's just like a charming guy. That's like his whole personality. So I don't know. I wish we had gotten more from him. Because I like the idea. I think it's a really cool concept, and I like the story a lot. But from the characters wise, I liked Pedro's character. I thought he did great as that character. But I wish it was a more like in-depth script versus just this like cookie cutter character. So
yeah, I can agree with that, and I think too their breakup scene made sense. But I feel like I don't know, it felt almost anticlimactic, I think.
Totally agree.
Because so much of the movie was spent establishing that romance. And like they were boyfriend and girlfriend and did have moments of connection. And yes, it was a very surface level relationship, but still, like we saw so many scenes of them having conversations and Pedro also seeming to genuinely like her. Like that opening scene at the wedding where she like caught his attention like right off the bat was so good. It was very like romance and sweet and romantic. And so I feel like it would have been interesting to see a little bit more tension in her decision to end things with him. Not just a middle of the night, I saw the ring decision. Like more of a, I think that I agree with that. I think it would have been interesting to see a little bit more tension there for her to go through to really have to struggle. Like there was a lot less, now that I'm thinking about it, there was a lot less struggle when it came to that decision for her. Like all of a sudden it was just like, oh yeah, I'm choosing Chris Evans. I wish we could have seen her grapple with that choice of like a comfortable, amazing life with this guy that I like.
Yeah.
Versus like not having the life that I don't know, that she said she wanted. Like the first thing she establishes her character is like, I want to marry someone filthy rich. And then she's given that opportunity and she's able to make that choice like that. that goes against her character. That's an interesting point. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
I'd have to disagree.
Really?
Because we don't get a lot of scenes between her and Pedro where they're actually talking. We get two. We get the one at the wedding, and we get the one at dinner where they decide they're going to actually pursue each other. And that one, and the one at dinner is really good. But Maddie, you pointed this out. They were leaned away from each other the whole time. Like there was no actual connection there. It was very intentional, and like he was talking about it being romantic when there doesn't seem to be any romance involved, like between them two. It's because it's just a business deal. Like, yes, he checks off her boxes, but then John comes back into her life, and she finds herself being drawn back to him. She doesn't go to Pedro about anything. Whenever that incident happens with her client, she calls John about it first. But this is when she's still with Pedro because she wants to tell John about it. She doesn't want to tell Pedro because she finds herself drawn to John. There's no emotional connection. There's no love there, like she says later, between her and Pedro. Again, it's just a business deal, which I think is why that breakup is so anticlimactic, because both of them knew it, and they talk about that. Like, neither of them loved each other. I mean, yeah, he had a ring, but he didn't actually love her. And like, because he doesn't deny that when Dakota Johnson says that. And I don't think it was just finding the ring. I think her seeing the scars on his leg from him doing the leg extension made her realize, no, he's not perfect and nobody is. And that like reinforces the fact that she's got all these clients coming like, here's my perfect type, and so the person that I end up with has to check all these boxes. Otherwise, they're stupid and they suck, and I don't want them. And she realizes that there is no one like that. And I think seeing the scars on his leg makes her realize he's not a unicorn. He made himself a unicorn because of the way that the world is. Sense. And I don't know. I think that brings her back to the fact that Chris Evans' character, he may not be perfect, but she actually has a connection with him, and she's always loved him.
That's a good point. Yeah, I can see how maybe if there had been more scenes written in with Pedro to really emphasize the romance, it would have been kind of a different movie.
Yeah.
Which I think, I don't know, maybe that would have made it more accurate to how it was advertised. I just expected more.
Yeah,
there. I think but that's also,
It was just really predictable. Like, I just was like, okay, clearly she's going to end up with Chris Evans. Like, that was just, there was not enough developed there between her and Pedro that was one of the things about the movie that I, like, kind of critiqued, was it was just so predictable. Like, from the beginning, after seeing Pedro and Chris's character and who they were, I was like, it's so obvious what's going to happen, judging by the name of the movie. But it was just because, like, not enough was developed with Pedro for me to even consider that they were even going to be together. And maybe that is the point, because their chemistry was not near as good as with Chris. But it was just like, okay, clearly this is inevitable and it's going to happen, because we haven't had enough here to even consider a conclusion of them remaining together. But I don't know.
I think that was the point, though, that is predictable. That's any romance movie. If you've seen any romance movie, they're all predictable.
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't make it a good movie. I mean, like, predictable movies are like, okay, I don't know.
I think that's something that it only surprised me because it's A24. That doesn't feel very A24 to make something predictable. But I predict the ending of While You're Sleeping before it happened, and it's still one of my favorite movies. And same thing with what's it, like, The Proposal, that kind of thing. I don't know. So that because it feels like it wasn't a rom-com. I don't know. I think this gets into a different topic of like, romance movies aren't the same as they used to be, but that's a whole different conversation. That's a whole other thing. Yeah. Of like,
something I actually did like about it was like, people were complaining about how basic it was and how like cookie cutter it was. But I actually kind of like that, because it brings, like, it goes back to that 90s and 80s like romance movies where they're predictable, but they're just good. Like, they're good movies, and it doesn't have to be this like in-depth plot or like super stupid plot twist that makes the movie dumb, or like stupid characters. Like, it's good characters that you can all enjoy, you know, in a solid storyline with a good ending. And it's like, it doesn't need to be this thing that's really complicated or anything like that.
Didn't you say that was what you didn't like about this movie?
No, I didn't say that at all. I said I didn't like how what Pedro's character was extremely predictable. As if it should be predictable and being just a good, well, done story.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I enjoyed it, but there's definitely things with it that, like, I think, I don't know, I guess if there had been more scenes written in with Pedro, it just would have made it a different movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but I remember Mary Bailey and I walked out of the theater like giggling and all that. It was
Oh yeah.
it was such a fun experience to
I
watch.
right up Mare's alley.
Oh my gosh. What are some of the things that you guys like? So those are some of the critiques we have about it, but what are some of you guys' like favorite moments or scenes or just things that you really enjoyed from the movie? Like characters aside, like just other things in it, plot points, moments that you guys did really enjoy.
I mean, I couldn't get over the script. The script was so good. Like so good. I was texting Maddie like as the movie was going, and I was like, there are so many scenes in here that I want to recreate with Maddie because, like, I mean, they had to memorize so much dialogue, and
Yeah.
the conversations between the two, you can tell, were so like articulately written, and like you can tell how passionately Celine feels about her work behind the script, which was super cool. Like even up until like it was so consistent too. Like I didn't feel like that's one thing that annoys me when like a writer of a movie tries to be too pretentious and like does all their good writing at the beginning and then it slowly gets worse or like vice versa. But it's so consistently like great and fitting to their characters throughout the entire film up until the end. Like even like when her and Pedro first meet, their first conversation versus their last conversation, it's the same energy, it's the same dynamic between the two, which I really, really, really thought was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. I loved the script. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It was so good. Even too, like one of the scenes that I talked to Mare about mostly was the scene between Dakota Johnson and Pedro Pascal. I just thought the like shooting in that was incredible and like the camera work in that was so good because like Josh is what I talked to Mare about, but there's a line where she's like, you're just I like that you take me to all like these nice, really expensive places. And he's like, well, isn't it like more romantic that way? And it cuts to like a wide shot of them at the table. And as soon as he said, like, isn't it more like romantic? Like the lighting is cold, it's harsh. They're both leaned back and away from each other. But then what is it in the foreground? Like right, like behind them, kind of blurred, you see a couple sitting at a table, like leaning in together, like contrasting them leaning back. Dude, it was so cool. It was just so good. And one of my favorite moments was when the two women, Dakota Johnson and her coworker, were sitting on the balcony, like smoking cigarettes and talking about like the market, like talking about their job just as like so seriously, just like business jargon, nothing else, being like, yeah, it's not very good for the market. Well, if he does that, he'll increase his market value, like back and forth, like just so businesswoman about it. And I appreciated that. Like, just like, okay, like this is their job. Like, they're not looking at it like giggling, like, oh, how are we going to pair these people up? They're just like, no, like looking at it from like face value. I think that if he did this, that's something to consider. Like, just talking about it so business and so logically. I really enjoy that aspect that they take their job seriously. That it's not just like giggly, but it's like very serious to them. Like, it was just cool. I just appreciated that moment. I thought it was very fun. I liked it. What about you, Mare?
I liked all of it. Yeah, I think she did a lot of oh my gosh, what is the word? It's not paradoxical.
Romance.
But just like, yeah, romance. No.
Romance.
Not conflicting, but just like the scenes where Pedro Pascal and Dakota Johnson were leaned back in their chairs and then in the foreground there was
couples leaning closer together.
Yeah.
Like a juxtaposition.
Yes. Thank you. That is the word I was looking for. Because she does that with the scene where she's sitting in the office with her boss. They're in just her like boss's office talking about that incident that happened with like the assault that happened with her client. But then out in the hallway, all of the women are congregating and like cheering and clapping and like celebrating what they've just done, like their matchmakes or whatever. And Dakota's in the office like, so how many girls have been assaulted? Like, this is crazy. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And like a lot of juxtaposition happens in the film, which is I always like that. I think that's cool.
there was throughout the whole movie, it was always in the back of my mind of like the whole like this is a really dangerous situation. Like so much could go wrong in this matchmaker situation with what eventually did end up happening. And I thought they did that really well because like during that montage, she goes to like 12 different guys of what they want and what they don't want, and men and women, and it's like this whole thing of like, you know, there's so much like negatives that could outcome here, and I'm glad it wasn't all just like, you know, this is always going to be working out thing. This always works out every time. And I thought like typically with like such a heavy and deep and like plot twist, you know, turn like that with something like abuse, like typically I don't really love that because I think it's kind of like a I think it can be a cop out to make audiences, you know, feel more inclined to like emotionally relate to the movie more, even if it's not well written. And it's just like an excuse to just get more audience emotions out. But I do think they did this one really well because you kind of like, you don't expect it, especially with it because like Dakota has this such high image of how good she is at her job that you don't expect something like this to happen, especially with one of her clients. But when it does happen, I thought Dakota crushes it when it comes to like her reaction to it and like how much she cares, and then like the victim and everything, and how I thought that whole thing was really, really, really great. Just really well written.
Yeah. And I think too that goes to the idea of like the movie being like almost not a satire, but a look at like the modern dating world today and the truth of it. Like even if you were to get on a dating app, like as a woman in that kind of situation, like I think it just too like it, like you said, Josh, like you didn't expect it. It showed a dark side to that industry and to the dating world as a whole that you don't expect. But as soon as it happened, I was like, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this is a very not just believable, but a very accurate plot point to how like the dating world is today. And of course that would happen. Like, I hate that I can say that so obviously, and that it's like an agreement of like, of course that would happen if there was like a matchmaking business out there that would happen to a woman. But of course it would. And I love that the victim, what was her name? I hate that I can't remember the character's name, but I love that she like didn't forgive her. I mean, she called her a pimp. And I think you can look at the matchmaking business and like that doesn't feel entirely inaccurate for her to have said that and like accuse her of that. Like especially after her experience. I thought, I just thought that part was, I thought that was a realistic plot point and not just a cop out of here's a conflict, but it was very fitting and too, like, unfortunately realistic to the dating world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Josh, what scenes do you want to recreate?
Definitely the first conversation that I was thinking that I was watching that scene. I was like,
yes,
holy crap.
Yes. Oh my god.
So well done. The tension between the two, because it's like it's so clear that Chris wants her so much more than she wants him at that point. But he's trying to be so subtle about it, and he like is because he cares about her more than he cares about being with her. That was like that was his whole thing. That the whole movie was he was like, I care about you more than I ever will care about being with you. You know, like and like, Pedro was also similar where he was like, I'm not doing this for just a hookup or anything. Like I want right.
Yeah.
But it really like came down like it was cool because both of the men wanted her not like off of lustful actions or anything like that. It was strictly like emotional and like legit. But it was up to Dakota being the irony of her character being a matchmaker. It was literally up to her to not fall into this materialistic idea and decide, okay, like which one is it that I want to pursue, and is it like where is the true beauty behind what romance really is? But like definitely that scene. I'm trying to think of what else I loved. Obviously with the one at the wedding.
His monologue is so good.
That was great. But like that first scene, I was watching like, this is what you have to do.
100%.
Because he was cooking. That's when I was like, both of them are like at the top of their game right now. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think both of them are so talented, and another thing, Chris has never played a role like this in what I've seen ever. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Like
he's
a
always
romantic main interest, yeah.
no, and to be like this poor guy who's, you know, not at all. He's not like he's not
Successful.
the charming one in the movie. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like a more background character who I don't know. So I thought like
He's
his
not wealthy.
right,
Yeah.
his
And he's not
versatility.
suave.
Yes, yeah, exactly. His
Mm-hmm.
versatility I thought was much more impressive than Pedro's character because Pedro
Mm.
does have that persona just as not only as a character but as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just has that character of being suave and like super charming.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought his performance was so much more impressive because of that, like having that
Mm-hmm.
versatility of doing such a different character.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you guys seen Playing It Cool?
No. What is that?
It's a rom-com with Chris Evans.
Oh, he needs to do more.
It sucks.
One thing,
but
yikes, Chris. However,
sorry, Chris. I love Chris, but this did not do well. But it was him and Michelle Monaghan. Do y'all know who that is?
No.
Mm-mm.
You'd recognize her.
Does he play like a similar character to that in this?
This is Michelle Monaghan. Oh gosh, it's bad.
No idea who that is.
Yes, you do.
What is she in?
She's in Mission Impossible 2 and 3. She's Julia. She's who Tom Cruise marries.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's her.
We've established that I have not.
She's also in The Best of Us. Nicholas Sparks.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a movie I watch every day.
Oh my gosh. She's in Pixels with Adam Sandler. She's in Pixels with Adam Sandler.
Pixels, no.
There's no, yeah, I forgot you actually kind of like that movie.
You like Pixels? I've never seen it.
I love Pixels and I love Adam Sandler.
So
you putting your phone down, that resounded like through the
Good.
Okay, we also talk about in this movie, guys. It was okay. Listen, there's
there's another one that Chris Evans was in. He plays trumpet. I haven't seen it, but it's called Before We Go. He plays trumpet. He plays trumpet. It's a rom-com. I haven't seen it, but he meets this girl at a train station. He plays the trumpet. No, he is.
I thought that was the character's name.
Turned into a trumpet halfway through the movie.
Only True Love's Kiss can turn him back.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was just giving him some rom-com credit because he wasn't.
Okay. Anyway, guys, Materialists. I just have to say, like, the romance with him and Dakota Johnson, it was so good. It was so good.
Chris
like coming. What is it?
Chris or Pedro or yes?
Chris.
Yeah.
Like them. Yeah. I'm a sucker for like characters who are like once in a romantic fling, like coming back to find each other again. Like I'm a sucker for that in a movie, like kind of a romance being reestablished and rekindled. And they reestablished and rekindled it. It was just so sweet. Like him inviting her to the show and being nervous and leaving her a voicemail and just all the little, like the rom-com aspects of it. Like that, like the rom. I mean, there was not really any com, but just like the romantic aspects of it, like him, like, I don't like just it was fun to see like their flashback, and that sucked because they broke up obviously over money, but just like getting to watch them kind of like fall in love with each other again, like just the romance of it. It was great. It was so well done. That last monologue, are you kidding me? He went crazy. It was so good. Like, yeah, it was just also like it was good, and I was kicking it. I was like kicking my feet and giggling. Mayor can attest. We were both cheesing from ear to ear in the theater. Like,
I cried.
In those. Oh yeah, and it was great. And it was so good.
Yeah, I did. I was smiling for most of the movie. It's just such like a. It's so like it is like a simple concept, but it's just done so well, and it's like, people who are like hating on it. I don't like, for people saying it's simple. I just think like it might be like a easier concept to, or like what was something we've seen before, but to execute it so well with such a good script and great performances, like that shouldn't take away from the overall,
And also too, I'm just thankful it's an original story and it's not a remake or a sequel of a rom-com that came out 20 years ago.
Not even based
like
on
it's exactly it's something original. Yes, like because every romance is going to follow like a similar plot line of they conflict and figure it out and come back together. Like it was an original story with an original plot line, and it was very enjoyable. So I'm just like, thank the Lord for that, and it's doing well in theaters. Go out, make more original movies and scripts and films.
Please.
Yes. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
What did we one thing I forgot to mention that I probably haven't yet. I was incredibly thrown off in the beginning when 2 cavemen rolled up. And that was the
I
beginning
thought
of
it was
it.
pretty sick. I didn't
I thought
understand,
it was
but when
I
they
was
did
very
that,
confused.
I was like, "That's cool."
Mm-hmm. My mom looked at me. Ada and mom came too. Josh, we went and saw it.
Nice.
And Ada and I turned and we just looked at each other like, what the?
Yeah.
Where's Dakota Johnson?
Yeah, but it's so good because it's so like the simplicity of love. Like that's what it is in the first. That's what it literally simplifies in both of those scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Dakota learning that throughout the whole movie. Like she's the main protagonist of the story, and literally the entire movie does around her and her decisions and her, and so it's the whole thing about the simplicity of love, what it represents, and then her realizing like her and Chris are so much more in love, like those 2 cavemen are than
Mm-hmm.
the
Her and Pedro.
materialistic. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. It was just funny to start out and be like, what the?
I know.
What's going on? Wait a second. Where did you see the movie, Josh? Were you at the Boone Theater?
Yeah, I watched it by myself.
Sweet. Love it.
I know.
Love it.
And I'll do it again.
And I do it again. Mm-hmm.
I do want to watch it again. I thought the body language too of the characters were great. Like watching Chris like after his play when Pedro and Dakota are there. Like the body language of seeing Dakota and then him like shaking hands with Pedro. It's so much more like discouraged and like kind of defeated when he's talking to Pedro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And I thought the handshake was funny too, just like Pedro like being so, and the difference in their clothing as well, I thought was really interesting too. Like the costume designer was great, I think.
Yeah, because he's like, I can't live up to this guy, like he's like, it's like that.
This guy in his sweater, and
yeah,
I'm in my freaking flannel and my Carhartt.
Yeah,
it was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. Yeah. Okay.
Man, what's so important on that phone?
I was seeing if they were still playing Materialists in Boone, and they're not because they're idiots. I guess they're still showing Lilo and Stitch.
What?
Oh yeah. Those live action so much money.
So cool. Have you guys seen the live action How to Train Your Dragon?
No, I'm not paying for that.
No, I'm probably not planning on it. Not planning on it.
Jurassic World comes out. Sorry.
Yo, Jonathan.
Yeah, what's so important? What's so important on that phone, Josh?
F1 again.
You're what?
I'm going to see F1 again.
Oh, really?
Friday.
I need to go see it. Did you like it?
Yeah, it's great. Friday.
Really?
Oh.
Going to see. Mary, you should come.
I'm gonna let you think about that one.
Friday? I don't know your life, woman.
I told you my life for this weekend.
Oh,
what is this weekend?
Sorry, it's 4th of July.
July 4th. What are you doing for the 4th?
I don't know.
Hey guys, what are you guys doing? What?
I don't know.
What? The lake? Did you tell me? Am I being dumb?
No, I was gonna go. I think the lake is happening. Everything's up in the air.
What if you just like stayed up here?
Well, what if I didn't?
No. Something to consider.
Loser.
That's the question. Who's the loser?
What are you doing for the 4th?
Nothing, because he's a loser.
That's such a
he's going to see F1.
I'm literally going to hang out with Meredith's mom. It's going to be hype, so.
Well, you be hanging out with me then.
Oh, we won't be hanging out with you. No, I think since I work at Hound Ears, I get in for free, so I might go with Caleb and a couple others to Hound Ears, which is a country club, super bougie, eat free food,
okay,
drinks, get hammered.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
Wait, when are you gonna go see F1 on Friday?
During the afternoon.
Oh.
I don't work Friday.
A.
Me no work Friday.
Caveman Josh is here.
Yeah.
He saw Materialists too many times.
He was the star in the beginning, actually. It was him.
Our ratings of the movie.
The moment of truth. I pull out my Letterboxd.
Meredith?
Josh, what was yours? No, you
I really just asked you first.
Well, ladies
Rock,
first.
paper, scissors.
No.
Age before beauty. He's the youngest one here.
Meredith just hit 40, so I'll go.
You said just hit 40?
Yeah.
Man, I'm looking good.
I I
Getcha.
gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Because I really like the story. I really like the characters. I thought it just wasn't like I was smiling the whole movie, and I appreciated like a good original movie. I think I gave it like a 3.8 out of 5, but I can't do that on Letterboxd, so I gave it a 3.5.
So you should round up and give it a 4.
No, because it's not a 4 level. But it's I highly recommend it to everybody. It's a really good movie, but it's not one of those things that's like blew my socks off for how good it was. It was just a good movie.
Well, my socks were gone at the end of it.
Really, they came off.
They
were just across. Meredith is searching through the chairs trying to find her socks after the movie ends.
Desperately in Sun Valley 14 Theater.
Where are my socks?
And I have my socks off, so wait, help me find them.
We sat in that theater for so long at the end, thinking there was going to be an end credit scene. Like it was Marvel.
All of the credits.
Yes,
Captain America was in it.
Yes,
he has to do one.
I also I also told Maddie and Meredith I didn't like the whole subplot about the legs being extended. I thought that was pretty stupid. Like I get the whole unicorn thing, just was not my style of writing at all. I just thought it was a really weird plot point that like they mentioned at the beginning. It was one of those things they mentioned it, and you're like, cool, this is something really random that's just gonna be brought up later. And I thought it was like kind of interesting, but that was like kind of one of those things I was like, okay. So
I liked it.
I liked that plot point as well.
Yeah, that's fair. I didn't.
When it happens, my mom couldn't get over that it was a real thing. She's like, "Wait, is that real? That's not real." She could not handle it. Like first thing she googled after the theater, like extension surgery, real or not real. And that's all we talked about in my house afterwards. Mom was like, "So in this movie, you're not gonna believe what happened to Pedro Pascal." We're like, "Mom, it's not real. He didn't actually get that done. Like it's a real surgery." Then she thought that Pedro got it done for real, and I was like, "Mom, no." So it was just very funny that stuck out so significantly.
Silly mom.
Okay, moment of truth for what I rate it. I'm in between a 3.5 and a 4 is where I'm at. And it's just, it was really good, but also there are some like valid criticisms to it. But for me, what gives a movie a 5 is like rewatchability, but also walking out of the movie, just kind of like, you know, the feeling you walk out of a movie and it's like I just saw a movie. Like I see the world. Yeah. And I walked out of the movie with that, that feeling of, man, like that was so fun. And like, that was a movie. And I feel like romance is real and that was great. And I loved it. And so because of that, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
Good.
Yay. And my review is walked out of the theater feeling whimsical because I did. And it's very true. And for those of you who didn't like it, I'm sorry that you hate whimsy and joy. And that's okay.
Screw ya.
I'm kidding. No, I was going to say I'm kidding. It's okay. May's doubling down.
I also gave it a 4 because, and I'm also very proud of you, Maddie. I was afraid you're going to give it a 3.5 because you're going to let other people's opinions make you give it a 3.5.
I walked out whimsical.
Good.
I did.
Because I also walked out whimsical.
Thank you.
And I loved
Big
it.
Day for me.
And I was smiling the whole time. And I cried. Mm-hmm. And that's a 4 for me. And I'm going to rewatch it. Mm-hmm. It's like that's comfort movie worthy right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And most of my comfort movies are 4 stars.
Well, that's true.
A lot of them are 5 too. Yeah.
Unless they're 5.
Unless they're 5. And those were on my favorite. Those were on my favorite movie lists.
That's true. List.
Well, guys, that was Materialists.
We did it. We materialized.
How about that? How about that?
Josh was just hallucinating. Where's Nathan?
You guys, quiet down.
Josh, you're not in the chateau anymore. You're not. I think the trash got to him.
Yeah. Leave me home alone.
The fumes.
No. Guys, that was great. We are back. We will be back next week. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Talking about.
I got some ideas. I have some ideas.
Talking about something we can talk with Bailey about.
Yes.
Period.
Bailey Snyder Bailey Steiner.
Bailey
will be on-
Protasewicz.
Protasewicz. I did that the other week. I called her Bailey Steiner.
Protasewicz will be on
Takowicz.
the podcast next week.
Mm-hmm.
Mark my words. Sharpie it.
BP.
Tattoo it.
She gonna be on here. I'm gonna start calling her BP.
I think that's.
Really love that.
I think she's gonna be a huge fan.
Like the gas station BP.
What are some of your ideas you have for next week?
Ideas I have for next week? One is like the summer movies that I talked about. Like talking about like summer movies, those eras. And then another one that I saw is just reading our favorite Letterboxd reviews. Just finding funny ones and then bringing them in.
Cool. I was just thinking
I think it'd be so funny.
Like a idea on like next to that could be like we read reviews and we have to like guess the movie based off of like,
that's fun.
Ooh, that'd be good. Maddie also hasn't done a quiz for us yet.
That's true. A quiz for you guys.
So
I could start cooking one of those up. Another one I saw is that I saw another podcast do that. So shout out Smosh Mouth. But trying to predict the ending of new movies that are coming out. So like Megan and freaking I don't know what else new is coming out. They all immediately left my brain. Or the new Jurassic World movie that's coming out, or that freaking which one? The one with Margaret Qualley and Chris Evans, like the weird religious one.
Honey, Don't.
I saw ads for it. Yeah. That looks interesting to me. Like trying to predict the ending of different movies that are coming out in the next year. I think it'd be fun. And then like once the year is over, seeing if we're even a little bit on track whatsoever with the movies. So those are just a couple ideas.
Yeah, whoever gets it wrong like dies.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Well,
gets kicked off the podcast.
Like gets a public execution live streaming through our podcast. So
perfect. I think that people will like that a bunch. We'll get famous for some. We'll go viral.
But hey, bad publicity is publicity.
That, and you know what? I've always said that.
No, you haven't.
That's so true. I've never always said that. That's so true. Always, every day.
Guys, this was lit.
We did it. We're so back.
We'll be back next week.
Josh is back with his middle school slang.
So much. What? Back with my middle school what?
Slang.
Oh, doing the ones that you've been adopting to?
I say them and I immediately regret them.
Clips on here of you saying aura. So
once I said it once and I regretted it immediately.
I got it on my phone, so you're welcome.
All right. That's just black hell waiting to happen.
This has been some banging lit hype.
What the?
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, guys.
I don't associate with
next week with another
banger.
Someone else do this. All right, guys. We will be back next week.
I think next week we're going to be back. And
see y'all later. All right, hey, thank you. Hey, guys, over there. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks, guys.